Hello, this is Bob Hill again. Thank you for looking in. This video is about how do we take the confusion out of trying to compare multiple properties for lease or purchase. I hope you enjoy it.
Hello. Today I want to talk to you about a tool that we use that's called the property comparison. Now, whenever we look for property for lease or to buy, whether it's warehouse or whether it is office, shopping center, there are always more than one options that we have that we can pursue. And so how do we take advantage of all of the characteristics of these various properties, but still not get confused by all of the elements that go into making a final decision? Well, what we do and what we've developed is a tool that we call property comparisons. This is an example of that, and I know you cannot see that on the video at this angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this right now in the video, and I want you to pause it for just a couple of minutes, to however long that you think is proper for you, to look at it and look at it carefully. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this tool after that.
This is an example of the property comparison worksheet. It's comparing two properties, about 22 characteristics, and we are grading the properties based upon those characteristics. Now, please note the red arrow where we have given a 5 to the clean room characteristic for one of the properties. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Now, I'm glad that you looked at it. Now, what you see is really two comparisons of warehouse distribution space. Now, there are 22 characteristics on this sheet, and there are two properties. But you could have multiple properties, not just one or two or three. There's been times when we've had as many as 6 on a spreadsheet. Now, what this approach and what this tool does is that if you looked at this carefully, at the bottom you saw a legend. Now, we just simply started the process of listing characteristics for our clients, and the legend is if a property has an advantage in one area, then they get a +1. If they're neutral in the same area, then they both get zeros. If one has an advantage over another one, then it gets a -1. But all we do is really start the process for somebody. They, our clients, they need to go through and they need to look at these characteristics. They need to decide what's the most important. And I actually identified an important element or an important characteristic in one of these properties. It's called a clean room. Not a sterile room where people have to be sterilized, but a clean room where people have to wear gloves and masks. Now, remember, we've said over and over again that real estate needs to support your business practices. You don't change your business practices for real estate. Well, our client in this particular example needed a clean room. That clean room was very important. And so instead of just a 1, we put a 5 in there. Now, our client might have decided that they would have put a 10 in there. But we start the process by creating the spreadsheet. We give them the opportunity to add whatever characteristics, additional characteristics they might want to add, and then they can set up their own grading system. Once they do that, then they can identify for us exactly where they would like for us to focus our attention and which properties in which order they would like for us to pursue. Great tool, wonderful part of the overall process, and well worth all the time it takes to assemble it and go through it and think about how do I use it so that I can make a right decision for my company.